Rev Owusu Bempah strike back at NPP. Abujafo, Nana Owusu Bempah did not way and say full video me baba ma what chire mu dienti a NPP for a D nani. Na me at the point me tell me one dream shocking revelation. Akwa mo fa so mo bo pa according to Rev Owusu Bempah. Wo de tie full video ni man incident tie ne account no. Na enipa me nsa bi on live mamu ne save no. Obehye nkom na nse NPP former power beam. Ne fro na atem die nya asem ketwa e de wuntumi vigil na say yomo ye Ashanti region asofofo krampo kopie mu ho asofo no bi kopie mu kodi na tem so onye nyankopon obe kirechirem o say MPP for ye na die bi mese video no ababe 1 hour memu watie start tie ne tewa so menske pehwema ne nkosi ono ani party ana say nyese ono ani party ko ana party na wo hye nkom ya na usually ana favor wo mu they also mo dey no me full video na ma before that double subscribe we have bell notification and comment and video no drop here so make a free na ja comment you comment section na mo we are ukopiem e wo Lily Flower Green Clean Solution Center your eco conscious cleaning specialist you be cleaner CC you feel honum hospital church bank institution em ho ya fanya sam kitakra backomeassist.com aba magana for mo amana ne me pa cho what me kan kwa dia friend number na go screen and log on to backomeassist.com the building project na wo ye no business na wo si asase na opo na kwa kwhwe uni Ghana and do it be fan kwhwe frere fa hye nsa ye be kwa kwhwe ne kamu crutch no be adubere ma pictures videos as my report yenkote Rev Owusu Bempah sana asem no obeti ase
na Apostle Charles Owusu Ekano.
Now just as Apostle Charles Owusu has already said,
your entire political party bia
we have hatred for no political party. We do not hate any political party.
Na obi nya ni bi kwa.
But I see nobody does something for no reason.
Last Sunday, the no nanka last 2 weeks Sunday krana kamebe.
Now last Sunday my explosion was actually intended for last 2 weeks. Sunday.
Because of information voice messages I want me phone so. I want me phone so I believe some apostle ebi wo phone so. Osofopon se bi wo phone so.
Because of pieces of information.
Last month,
I received last month.
August.
August, what's right?
July, no. Beginning of July, no.
Now, last month, in the month of July,
and I message from Kumasi.
I received messages from Kumasi.
Nkrophobia, my meeting.
And it was about some people who had sat in a meeting.
NPP phobia.
And it was, the people were some NPP members.
Sir,
their discussion and plan was that they would come to church, our church premises, church auditorium, to cause chaos and mayhem, to disrupt our service, and it would just be like what happened some time ago. So that they will say, oh, here, these are the acts of the incorrigible Owusu Bempah. He has done it again.
Pretend they say, I say Muslims be.
And then they will come in the guise
NPP phobia
of Muslims, as though they are Muslims, as though they are Muslim youth that are coming on attack.
President.
The alleged reason they will be coming to attack in the manner they would, or in the manner they have planned, is that I have said allegedly that I will not allow a Muslim to be president of Ghana.
Muslim president
but there is no record of me saying I will not allow a Muslim to become president of Ghana. There is no
in my life.
There is no record of me saying here or anywhere that I will never allow any Muslim to be president ever in Ghana.
I
was a student of C.I. Ahmadiyyah. And I used to live at Alaba.
Muslims
and I lived in the midst of Muslims. We also lived at Aswasi A-line.
Yɛne Muslims ɛna ne teɛ.
We lived in the midst of Muslims.
Mekɔ school ɛwɔ Nawal Ndini.
I was a student of Nawal Indini.
Ɛyɛ nkramofo school.
It is an Islamic school.
Asana bɛbɛkɔ St. Peters.
Before I moved on to St. Peters.
Abrosan no Edum bepɔ no. Saa
the Doom area.
Enti no menyo obi a metan nkramofo.
So I am not a person that has hatred for
But
Muslims.
Nkrofo bi akreti picture bi.
But some people are creating a very wrong narrative
Ɛkyerɛ sɛ Owusu Bempah tan Muslims.
that Prophet Owusu Bempah has hatred for Muslims.
Ɛnyɛ nokorɛ.
It is untrue.
Mene ya papa chief mem yentam ye kama pa.
I have a cordial relationship with the chief imam of Ghana.
Ɔman mu ɔmo a mebu ɔmo di buo ne ani de esoma ɔmo no ɔka ho bi pa.
Now in this nation, those personalities that I hold in high esteem and I have great reverence and respect for, he is one of them.
Na ɛdɛn ana ma me react last Sunday no
Now,
to that extent.
Why? What caused me to react to that extent
Ɛyɛ
last week?
bibi ɛna trigger me ma me yes.
Now my anger was triggered by something.
Sɛ yɛ bɛto ahyɛ yɛn so no.
And it was because of the information that some people would just come and cause chaos.
Ɛyɛ NPP foɔ bi ɛna wɔn asi agyinaeɛ.
And-
ayɛ meeting so wɔn bɛyɛ saa.
And
NPP.
the information was about some MPP youth who had decided they will come and do what is unlawful.
Sɛ me nko ampo na menya saa information na nko bi bɛka so da brɔboa.
Now, if I were the only person that received that information, well, somebody will say, "Oh, man of God, it's very convenient for you to say that it's a
Even
lie."
church members ni bi mpo.
There are
Enya saa
members
information
of
ya
the
me
church that received this kind of information I had also received.
Me nua ba Fosti.
My
Ɔmo so
sister Fosti
ɔmo frɛ no ka kyerɛ no so ɔnka kyerɛ ne brother.
also
Sɛ
received
because
a call.
Kumasi na ne yɛte. Na
Also-
yɛn yɛte Kumasi.
Also received a call to inform her brother, which is the prophet, so that we would be aware of what some people have intended to do, because we lived in Kumasi.
Ɔsɔfo Charles Owusu. O message ni bi sesi a wɔ ne phone so.
Now, Reverend Charles Owusu also received messages which he's got on his phone.
Members bebree wɔ dɛm hanom a ɔmo tie nsɛm a meka yi.
Now, there are certain members who are seated in church today who also received messages of
In
this
fact,
kind.
mete yɛ no ɛyɛ me ya.
Now, when I heard this, I was deeply.
Ɛna me busa me
hurt.
sɛ adɛn bɔne bɛn na masan yɛ bi.
So I was asking myself, why? What have I done this time?
Ɛno nti mo kae a wohu sɛ megyina pulpit mu ka sɛ NPP foɔ so ɔmokɔ akɔto aba.
So if you recall, weeks ago, I said about the MPP internal elections that they were having, that really they are really going to elect leaders.
Ɔmo so ɔmokɔto aba ayɛ dɛn.
And,
Akonnwa bɛn na
and I
ɔmbɛtena
was
so.
asking
Saa time nyinaa na
why-
mede yawdeɛ ne abufuo.
why
Because ɔne manya saa information no, na
they
mebɔ
were
fu.
going to-
Saa da no koraa na nanka mebɛka nsɛm a meka the last Sunday no.
why they were going to cast ballots and elect leaders. I mean, for what purpose? In fact, that day when I was speaking, I was very hurt, and it was that time that I wanted to speak out and explode.
NPP foɔ ayɛ me bɔne bebree.
There are so many things
Bɔne bebree.
the NPP as a party has done against me to cause me hurt.
Mesa te me baabi dwene me ho a.
And even that, as if that were not enough,
Must
now that
I-
I'm minding my business,
Ɛyi nkurɔfoɔ so ɔmo mɛto nhyɛ yɛ so. Na nkɔyɛ n'ano asɛm no. Na kɔyɛ sɛ NPP tie, Owusu Bempah yɛ saa, NDC so baayɛ, Owusu Bempah saa yɛ saa. Ne yɛtwa ntorɔ sɛ mema sɔrefoɔ ampo apolisifoɔ saa na bere bi atwa wɔn kan na this time bɛka sɛ Owusu Bempah ama na sɔrefoɔ ampo nkurɔfoɔ bi wɔ na sɔre dɛm. Look
now,
at all these things.
so now that
Na
I'm,
akɔdane Muslims and Owusu Bempah sɔrefoɔ.
now that I'm minding my business, there seems to have been a conspiracy against me and a decision to cause some youth from the NPP party to come to church during church service hours to cause chaos and mayhem And when the situation becomes violent, they would say that Prophet Owusu Bempah has done it again. During the NPP dispensation, he caused members of his church, allegedly, in fact, it is untrue, that he caused members of his church to beat some police officers who had been sent on official assignment to church. And they will say again that this time, Prophet Owusu Bempah has caused the members of his church to beat some people in church, within the precinct of the church. And they'll give a very false and provocative narrative about it, that as though there is some contention between Christians and Muslims.
Na adia me ngwane say information ye nyina so edin ba kopa bi no mu nyina abo se saa nipa no nkrofo edin ba kopa bi.
Now, all the messages we have received, there is one particular name that they mention. It is central in all the messages received from the various quarters. And they say people associated with this very person are the people planning to do this evil.
Metime baby ni ama abronye no abetena TV so no abedi Owusu Bempah temsa.
Now,
menkasa
without any provocation, in fact, while minding my business, I see videos of Abronye on social media casting insults, as aspersions, and all that at me, at my person, without any provocation.
Ana abrantie ya no di matema na Vice President Baumia picture bonechi. Your friend is saying, you can't say Honorable Ken, o mabie ni trimu. Koka sutimi bedi matemsa. And also menkasa.
And then another gentleman called Koka also would rain insults for no reason at me.
Oni freni bi su ye freni Bulgaria. Onu su bedi matemsa menkasa de beche no on Vice President. Aye video.
Now,
pictures at the social media.
Who is called Bulgaria would also insult me for no reason, and the next moment you see him in a photograph with the ex-vice president of Ghana. Now, for all these people who come out to insult me and attack my person, I have done nothing to any of them. And for all of them, while doing their broadcast, you will see pictures and portraits of the former vice president, His Excellency Baumia. Then we'll also hear Efia Schwarzenegger. She will come with hers and she would insult me. Now recently when she was called, she decided she will not respond and she will not insult me. Now, Chairman Wuntumi and his boys, in an alliance with Maurice Ampao, they would come use airtime just to insult me for no apparent reason. Now I ask myself, what have I really done? I am also human. Now, you don't just insult me, you insult my mother, insult members of my church, and use unprintable words. You use unprintable words in describing me, members of my church, and my family. Now, I ask myself, the leadership of NPP, are they saying they have not heard nor seen any of these insults targeted at me? And they have lost control over their people to the extent that they cannot tell the members of their own party to stop what they are doing to Prophet Owusu Bempah. So sometimes I get
because
angry.
I
get angry and I declare that I will not allow the former president, candidate of the New Patriotic Party, to become president of Ghana because of the insults. Now you know what has happened.
Vice President
I have friends who are also very good friends of the former vice president. I am using this opportunity, this platform, as an opportunity to say something for those friends to hear me clearly. It is not the case that in recent times I have withdrawn from you.
Party kase papa ye party ne ye invite enti bra party ni bi ne nyina ye ntonsa ni di menko.
Now sometimes
and then I make a the
throw a party
me namfo no me pese me bodin mo parties amu ya mu invite me na member no because of Dr. Bawumia na mo ne nam no enti amma me nya gidie o mu biem san de ne nkrofo de ye me nti enti amma me suro me ho.
They throw parties and invite me. Man of God, oh please honor invitation. Come, let's wine and dine together. But I decline. I do not honor their invitation. Not because there is anything they have done, but it is because I am just being careful. I have noticed that you have they are associating themselves with the former vice president of Ghana, Dr. Bawumia, and for the sake of what his own people are doing to me, I don't have confidence. I don't have confidence in coming to your parties. I am just being careful. This is the whole thing.
2013.
In 2013,
I saw them here.
Right here in church. God gave me a revelation and a prophetic message, and I declared it. Now, at that time, former President, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, was only a flag bearer and not a president. He was the flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party. Now, it is this prophetic word which I declared by the instruction of God that has brought me this trouble. Now, the prophetic message was not a creature of my imagination. It was not a figment of my imagination. It was God who revealed it to me and gave me instruction to declare it to the hearing of the public, and I did in accordance with what God said. In the same manner as God gives me revelations and messages about other nations, about families and individuals, and I declare them, that was the same way I received this message. It is part of my call.
Chief of Staff frame me.
Subsequent to that, I received a message or an invitation by the then Chief of Staff of the Republic of Ghana.
Jubilee House. And yes,
so I went to Jubilee House. I'm not going to disclose everything that went on, but I'm just trying to prove a point. On that said day, Prophet Victor Kusi Boateng was also at the Jubilee House.
Nana Pong C2
myself,
Victor Kusi Boateng.
Nana Pong,
and Yewura Chief of Staff Office.
Myself,
Jubilee House.
Nana Pong, also called C2, Prophet Victor Kusi Boateng. We entered the office of Madam Frema Opare, the Chief of Staff, together. I'm just trying to make a point. I just need your attention.
Chief of Staff,
and so by the instruction of the Chief of Staff, they showed me a video.
Me share video no busam say me and I'm so mommy me.
Now I watched the video and he asked me, man of God, are you the person in the video? And I said yes. And she asked me, why did you make that declaration?
And I'm saying, mommy, wait, I
said, madam,
2013.
Please, this video was recorded so many years ago in 2013. At that time, His Excellency Nanado was not president of Ghana.
And choose the vice president.
And he had not even at that time appointed a running mate who will become vice president.
And I say, in fact, oh papa,
and she told me that your father, the president, is not amused about what he heard in the video.
Old video.
And she actually admitted that the video is an old video. Now let's put that aside. This is the genesis. Now, I want everyone to watch that video. Now, listen to the prophetic message God gave me, which I declared in that time. And then now let's assess the events of time that happened after the prophecy. And let's check whether the prophetic word has any truth in it. Now, when I got arrested, I had a conversation with Chairman Wuntumi, and he said to me, that prophetic message I declared, which they impressed on me, to go grant interviews.
Then Dr. Baumia Ghana, no. Yaya hu adwuma ma saa de na firi ho ene rade ka chem se ma menye ena manye me ha unyina no chama untumi se enunti chi o ma cheme no omo de be ko nsawam ana akuse for 2 years all catch the speaker. I believe say apostle te ena me brother soften na kwesi
now
the speaker.
Now at that time they impressed on me to grant interviews both on radio and TV and tell the people of Ghana that message is no longer valid because we have prayed about it and we have worked on it, and so in that time God has chosen Baumia, the vice president of Ghana, to become the leader of Ghana after Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. But God told me not to say what they had told me to say, so I refused to grant those interviews. Now, Chairman Wuntumi informed me that the reason for my woes was because I had declined to grant interviews to sort of reverse the impact of what that prophetic message had done to the party.
Enunti ochina omo edemebe court. Now omo de mebeto cells for 2 weeks.
Now, Chairman Wuntumi told me that I will be incarcerated in prison custody at either Nsawam prison or Akuse prison for 2 years, and that the day after my arrest, which was Monday, they would put me before court and I'll be remanded.
Empire court omo remanded me for 2 weeks.
Indeed, we went to court and I was remanded just as Chairman Wuntumi said.
Apostle Charles Echo lawyer biho.
Now, Apostle Charles went to see a certain lawyer.
Lawyer ne frere IGP Dampare.
Now, the lawyer called IGP
Dampare at the speaker.
Now, IGP said, because the call was on speaker, so
Apostle
IGP said to the hearing of Apostle Charles Owusu,
say obedi mechi sa kosi say yede mebe kon nsawam.
Now the IGP declared boldly. The IGP declared boldly on that phone call that he would follow me and follow the case until he sees that I have been jailed at Nsawam.
Enti yede me to cells no omoma a whole regional commander obeda ka mu si say Owusu Bempah or Demwampa.
Now, so when on the day I was arrested, and during the time I was behind in cell, a whole Greater Accra Regional Commander was made to sit in his car at the police on the compound of the police station whose cell I had been placed, to ensure that I had not been brought out by any means possible.
I feel no say as I mean feel fine.
Now, while in cell, I realized I was not feeling okay. So I started to throw up. And I was shivering.
And they say, hospital, police hospital.
So it became necessary that I will be taken to the police hospital.
In fact, doctor no hear me medical checkup and also no. Me BP baby I want Miss Mini BP.
Now the doctors came and checked my my blood pressure and other things and said no, my BP level was rising. But I never had any issues prior to that with blood pressure.
Or my drip.
And so he administered drip on me.
Now, police phobia ba.
While I was at the hospital on the bed receiving the drip, there were some armed policemen that came to the ward. Order from above. When they came, they said they were there pursuant to an order from above, and the instruction they had received from above was to put cuffs on my hand and cuff my hand to the bed.
Charge the abomini say, "Mema mama sorry for ya moti A prosiphobia bahana mama mama bo. Esu mi hu a prosiphobia omo ba dem ha mema mo bo." Now, me charge no.
Now the charge, the allegation they had made against me was that they had sent policemen on official duty to church, and while they were here, I, the prophet of God, instructed members of this church to beat up the policemen, beat them to pulp. But there was no police person that came for any official duty to the knowledge of the prophet of God. So this police officer, this police officer who claims had been sent by an order received from above, put the cuffs on that same hand which was receiving the drip.
In fact, now,
when he put the cuffs, he tightened it up, and so it started to hurt me. It was cutting my skin. So I was screaming that, "Young man, you are hurting me." But all the pain and agony I was going through fell on deaf ears. So I started bleeding. And I was not breathing smoothly. I felt uneasy. I was sweating. And I could not persuade these guys.
I believe Apostle Charles Owusu.
Now, what I'm saying, Apostle Charles Owusu witnessed it. He saw it. Mr. Hobson Adoya also saw it. My nephew, Ernest Owusu Bempah, also saw them. He witnessed it. So they began to confront the policemen that, "Can't you see the man of God is hurting and he's in pain?" And so they retorted and said, if they said to Ernest Owusu Bempah and Hobson Adoya, "If you do not leave this premises now, we will shoot you dead." And I'm saying, so I was asking them, "How have I wronged you?" And I'm saying, and so I told them I wanted to use the washroom. Now police in a polythene bag black. The policeman brought me a black polythene rubber bag and told me to pee in it.
Police 4x4 never inside.
Now at this time there were already 4 policemen in that small ward, and they gave me a polythene bag. That if I am saying that I wanted to use the washroom, the place of they wouldn't allow me to go to a place of convenience right in their presence. I should do whatever I want to do in that polythene bag.
In fact,
I was very sad that
Na
day.
de na ha me kra ne bleeding na me bleed too much.
Now it hurts me. What I was so concerned about was that I was bleeding at the time.
Bone be na mai.
How did I wrong them?
Ese me de me support am honorable Alanchemante. Me kra sa time no na honorable Alanchemante kra me ni nhia ba bia da.
Another allegation they made against me was that I have thrown my support to Honorable Alanchemante, and even at that time, I had not met Honorable Alanchemante face to face.
Na de enti omo ye me sa no, me pa cho mo betimi a show video no.
Now can you show the video?
Me pa cho me pesa o hwe de nyame na me so kan ya enti omo ye me sa.
I want you to listen.
Na de nyame na me so kan so omo ye me sa na si.
I want you to listen to the prophetic word which anointed the NPP party so much, and you will notice that from the prophetic word happened or has happened, it has come to pass as the Lord revealed. This one also goes to MPP.
So MPP for
if MPP become
2016 win election.
That 2016 they win the election.
Na o man kwa ready any one pipe.
And they don't go before God in prayer.
No man nya hweye.
And they are not careful or cautious.
Omuntumi mapa wada.
They can never
NDC
come to power. And NDC may retain power.
Minim sa anya ode.
I know you are not happy.
Ba ye nkrofo bi so de.
And some people are happy.
DNT na man e basa.
Why would it happen that way?
Bribi our MPP mu.
There is something in MPP that the Lord revealed to me. That is some form of a hardened heart. That is one person, about one person. Because of his heart. God often does not want to allow MPP into power. Just because of one person. Just because of one person. This one thing God doesn't want. That somebody will touch Christians or followers of Christ. So if you have any intention that when I have power, I would rise up against a religion or a form of worship that is godly or Christianity in a nation. Even when you have it, God will take it away from you. I am saying it in a proverb, but it is a prophecy. Just because of one person. If NPP is not careful, they may never come back to power. Just because of one person. Just because of one vice. God looks into his heart. God realizes that if that person receives power, it will not help the cause of his people. Not the main person or the first person. If it was left to the first person or the leading person, but after this leading person has finished his assignment, the next person or the second person who is likely to take over, that the first person would allow him to come to power after him. It will affect Christianity in this nation and to lift up another religion. And that one would have authority over Christianity and will withdraw the hand of God. And the angel of God that was in Ghana.
So
God said, no, if this branch does not break from the tree, I will not allow it to be established. A word to a wise. I don't know if you are having an idea about what I'm talking about. But this branch or this whatever branch, it is in this branch that the tree has confidence. It is in this branch that all the leaves on the tree have their confidence. Because this it is because of this branch which is attached to the tree. God loves his people and his religion than government.
The NPP some power nia ebata duane ho no muntu no fo na nakoma de ehemu no onsesa no.
Now if NPP wants to come to power, then
na onyai nyame nkrofo
speak to that person
na sa oba onfo hawo embre
and let
nyame
him change his heart.
Empejo sumfoforo bi emasa sumfoforo ni nya pa hande de a ene ombetimi aba power.
If he's able to change his heart,
NPP
then they can come to power. Or else MPP can never come to power. You can write down today's date, Mark 2, and you know that I am a prophet.
Hallelujah. Afei yantrase na yentie na menya mfama samomla wie. Enti miniano.
Men and brethren.
Where 2013.
Now this is 2013.
Enti bra chief of staff Ephraim ya me call Jubilee House no. Enti Ebra chief of staff Ephraim ma me call the office 2021.
So about 2021, when the then chief of staff invited me to her office,
Madam Frema
Opari,
sa video na omo mu yichire me.
This was the same video they showed to me about 2021. And she asked me, man of God, are you the same person in the video? And she asked me, man of God, why did you say these words you are saying in the video?
Because
it has caused trouble. And she said to me that my father, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the president of Ghana at that time, was not happy when he saw the video.
Old video. Your Excellency. Now may president.
So when I went to the president's office, I said to him, Your Excellency, this video is an old video. It predates your presidency in 2016. It is the same video which Chairman Wontumi referred me to as being the reason for my arrest. And for that
2 years.
For this same reason, which is the same video, I will be jailed for 2 years at Akuse. Because allegedly and untruthfully, they said I had thrown support for So you see, the reason they set their eyes on me and they wanted to do harm, unlawful harm to me.
2024 and as our prophecy
now in 2024,
Diana Bedi Chileno, and you know more than a buy. Started 2023.
So events started unfolding in 2023 because the deputy or the branch of that tree was the same person, the tree itself and the leaves, the fruits and all compartments of the tree supported to become flag bearer.
President
so in 2013, when this prophecy was given, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo was not president of Ghana. At best, he was a flag bearer or potential flag bearer. He had not yet elected his running mate who would become vice president when Nana Addo becomes president. It took 10 good years for the prophetic message to come to pass.
Now let
me say this and say one or two other things. So the reason I was arrested is this video. Nobody has a scintilla of evidence.
NPP form penny for me complaining as will be and 200 and can't say Yenia Barnes so
no one had or has a scintilla of evidence, a shred of evidence to show that I went to Madam Pat's house with a gun to go and shoot her to death.
Me too, Madame Machilesi, a year so to Omuhine. Nana Nimo Fori, one a hemful, bear 3 and Umuba me fee.
Rather, it was Nemo Fori, the chief of Sotum, and 3 other chiefs
me
that came to my house. And I'm only saying this with names so that you know that what I'm saying is true and not a lie. One of the chiefs that came was called Amas.
And
is called Amas.
Now
Nemo Fori said to me that he gets troubled when he hears the woman insulting him. And the woman lives or has a property on the land where he rules. And so he was going to broker peace. Speak to the woman and then broker peace. Make us smoke the peace pipe. So may God bless that chief. May God bless him. Indeed, he did as he said.
Mr. Kofi Sando office airport Kemu. Now
I met Amas at the airport at an office of one of my friends, and in a car. I was in a car when I met him, and he told me, "Oh yes, indeed, they are speaking to her. They have achieved significant strides towards ensuring that there will be peace between the woman and myself. And so on such day, he would want me to meet with them and the woman so that there will be peace talks."
Your resident pastor, Reverend Kwamiamo, and Amas in a call by.
So I was with Reverend Kwamiamo on a particular day when I received a call from the chief called Amas.
And or say, so to him in Pama, Nemrantie, so Mumra McCann, who Yanema Minishia, na Afe Amas and Ushe. And he
said that the Soton chief had
good news
designated him to ensure that there will be peace between myself and the woman. And in addition to that, he has sent some of his men to accompany us to where they were going to meet.
And I'm so there be neutral grounds.
Now what he said is that he would wish that he would rather bring the woman to me. But I said, no, let's meet at a neutral place.
A criminal of frame so, or my many crafty and my many say, Minya Bibiana Mebrefi, na Bibia, okay.
Now, on my way to that neutral place, I received a call from this Chief Amas who said to me that he is in the house of the woman, and the woman has told him to tell me that, you know what, I should let sleeping dogs lie and then come home so that we settle issues. Now, at the time I was coming, there were men the chief of Sotum had sent to direct and accompany us. So when I arrived at the place, this chief came to me and said to me that the woman says that she would come so that we find a place to settle the scores. But that didn't happen. It turned into something else. I did not even get down from the car. I drove there. There was no physical or violent confrontation with any person.
Even but me catch there, yeah, question no, me
Now, the people that accompanied me there, I said to them to ensure that there will be no violence. And so we did not fuel any violence.
And until Samuka, my men or your life, Emma, a peer mukra can say, Osu Owusu Bempah Bahaso be peace, mini peace be a medemano. Now, Emma Barbontain, you recall some in the cocon topa, and come, Mamma Becca Osu Bempah Bahaso be peace, mini peace be a medemano. Now,
you will recall that while the woman was streaming live, she said that Owusu Bempah is here saying that he wants peace. I have no peace to give him. Now, if I had indeed gone there to cause violence, would she have said on the live stream that Prophet Owusu Bempah was there seeking peace? No. Now let me say this and I'll end. The affliction, the agony I was made to go through, and I am so hurt about it till today. Now, I want to ask a question to Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's administration.
MPP 4B.
And I want an answer.
MPP party no into omobu afu. There be omo hear me near me king.
Now there are some members of the NPP who are angry because they say that I've insulted the NPP party. But no, I have not insulted the party. I was confronting certain people in the administration who... So for over the years, you have insulted me, said all manner of stuff at me. I have not responded. I just responded once and all hell breaks loose. Now, blessed be the Lord who gave me a revelation.
In fact, now
what the Lord has done for me, I'm so grateful for it, and I thank God exceedingly for what He has done. Because but for that, I wouldn't be alive. There is no person who has labored more than me or toiled more than me to ensuring that Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo will become president of Ghana.
9 months.
Apart from fasting
continuously
and prayers for
3 times
9
a week
months continuously, praying and meeting them 3 times a week.
Also for
now this is what hurts me the most.
Revelation
the revelation I had.
A police for 8
in the revelation in the revelation which I received while I was in cells, I saw 8 armed policemen wearing masks on their faces. And then I saw all of a sudden in the revelation they took me into a certain pickup vehicle.
Police and a front seat and a driver no.
In the revelation, in the revelation, I saw that out of the 8 policemen, 4 were in the car. 1 drove the car, 1 sat on the front seat, 2 sat on my sides, 1 on my left, 1 on the other on my right, and the other 4 sat in the buckets of the car at the back. And then they drove the car to a dark spot.
And
I saw in the revelation that the one who was seated on the front seat brought out an injection, a syringe. Now, brought out a syringe which had a substance in it. Now, the policeman who sat on my left and right had held fast onto my hands, and my hands were in cuffs. And so the one in front was going to inject me with a substance in the syringe.
Me no more struggle na me saw paniana no.
So in the revelation, I was struggling with them, and I had held the needle.
And I'm tie mu na paniana no buye.
And I screamed, and the needle broke.
Many ba me so na ya ni so ade hunu.
So when I came to my consciousness, it was a revelation I was having.
Am a gentleman bi ano ye police ni odimirika ba me nchen e wo inside no so so. Yaso no obi anya problem meti no so she inside.
Now, lo and behold,
ebusam se nyame ni pa dade asem.
when I screamed in the revelation, it came out live, and so I screamed to the hearing of the other inmates. And so there was one policeman also in the cell who rushed to me and said, "Man of God, what is the problem?" Now I answered,
Vice President,
the only thing I could say is that is Nana Akufo-Addo still president of Ghana? Is the vice president still in Ghana? And they are watching people watching the police to maltreat me in this manner. Now,
police hospital.
Toward the setting of the sun in the evening, they came for me and took me back to the hospital. They handcuffed me again to the bed. Now, before they came for me, I told one of the constables to call my brother for me.
And I'm a revelation and I
said to Reverend Anakwesi, do not move from here, because if you go home, this is the revelation I have seen. They want to kill me or do some cause grievous damage to me. So don't move from here. Don't go home.
That
was what saved my life.
Minianom, Sofo Anakwesi, and Minia Papaya Auli, and my second born Kofi, Oman Kofi. So Tikanum, Omuda Kanum, wait that 30 minutes no so now we had that 30 minutes no more shed the Koso.
So my brother Nanakwesi, my son Kofi, and Papaya did not go home. They slept in the car. One will sleep 30 minutes and wake up, and the other will go to bed 30 minutes, and they were just watching what will happen.
And I just want something.
Around 1 something.
And I'm more police for 8.
There were about 8 armed policemen wearing masks. And when they came, what they said to me, that they have been sent by someone from above to come for them, to come for me and bring me to his presence for a conversation. So I said to myself, Lord, please help me. If you don't intervene, oh Lord, I am on the brink of death. Are they really going to kill me like I saw? So they took me because I resisted. I told them I won't go anywhere. I was one person in the midst of 8 armed policemen. So when my brother Nanakwesi and my son and Papaya, when they saw what was happening, they moved the car from where it was parked, and now they stood directly before the pickup vehicle the police had put me in. So they got down and said, "Hey, where are you taking our father to? Where?" And arrogantly, the policeman said to them, "If you don't get out from here, we would hit you with a gun." So they pushed me into the vehicle. They pushed me into the vehicle, and just like I saw, there was one policeman who sat on my right, the other on my left. My hands were still cuffed. There was one seated on the front seat, another policeman driving, and the remaining 4 went into the bucket. Now, there were witnesses to this. Nana Kwesi was there. My son Kofi was there. Awule was there. They all witnessed it live.
And when the police move car,
So the policemen moved the car,
pick up
the pickup vehicle, on top speed.
Me who be there in my life. And Nana Kwesi musu the car
on top speed. So they sped out from the compound of the hospital. And so Nana Kwesi and Awule and my son, they also followed. Now they wanted to stretch the distance so that they would not be, their way or their whereabouts will not be noticed by Nana Kwesi and the rest. But they also sped up after them. My question to Ghanaians and Nana Adodankwa Akufo-Addo's administration.
Vice President those days in Dr. Baumia and I know police council chairman
and
Adam Parina IGP.
And during the administration, the vice president was the chairman of Ghana's police council. George Dampare was the IGP of Ghana at that time. The question is, where at all were they taking me? What were they going to do to me so that they needed to wear masks on their faces? So we drove past the police headquarters, went into those, the trees along the road. We went through some road, and I saw that we were around the British High Commission. My hands were still cuffed. I was sandwiched between two police men. And they drove us through Osu on the stadium road, moving at top speed.
Still,
one road to another, and we got to Jubilee House. My brother Nana Kwesi, my son, and Awule were still following. And then when we got there, they parked the car. The one who was seated on the front seat got down and placed a call.
Broken English.
And the person spoke in pidgin English.
But I
thought perhaps they were thinking I did not understand the English he spoke, but I heard him very clearly. So
because
what I perceived from the phone call is that mission is aborted. There are people who are following us. The prophets people have seen us. So they decided, let's take him back to the cell. We'll do it another time. What were they going to do to me?
And did you receive call or gloves in a channel or gloves in the
So the one who went out to place the call, after the call, he removed the gloves he was wearing, folded them, and put them in his pocket. I saw him.
And a bag black. I feel me who said what the idea be a bag black and what tomb and what the said
glove compartment.
Yeah. Dashboard I say, or the ashaho. No I can't no the key
And when he came back into the car,
I
saw that he put something into a black bag, closed it up, opened the glove compartment, and then put it in that compartment and locked it up. What was in that bag? Listen, I am telling you about the terrible experience I had. And that is why I am so offended. In spite of all these things you have done to me, you still have the guts to come out and rain insults at me. And they cast me again into the cell and drove away. What evil did I do? How did I wrong them?
ana kuse.
And
Dampare.
and in addition to that, Dampare said that he will see to it that I am jailed to serve a prison term at Insawe or Akuse.
For court crying for 2 good years.
We went in and out of court for 2 years, about 2 years. And I do not know how I wronged someone. Now it was at the time when the matter in court was coming to an end that they came to write my statement in church.
Ernest, Munsho Aprosiforo.
Now the policeman that came there. Now Reverend Anakwesi and the others managed secretly captured some images of these policemen secretly, and if they had seen that photographs had been taken, they would have taken the phone, they would have damaged the phone or whatever device. This was the car.
Now for ete open ho and Michelle Finfina Bakuti say our second seat car we.
There was
number plate, Hyundai bi. And then Honda. Ya kokoye nhwehwemu search car no me de be fam na nya police car. Honda bi number plate na bo ho. Na omu kokuni pa car say no mo de ko. Sebe ya utresi a enye yi. We no omode mass ne share show manim no nyo mo nko ani o bi ka ho no mo ye 8 aha na no masisi o mo be dress de mass na show manim e na nana kwasi mutimi capture wo mo.
Now when we conducted a search, we noticed that the registration of this vehicle was actually the registration of a Honda vehicle. So the number plate on the vehicle was not the correct number for the vehicle.
More being kase. No, Owusu Bempah peskabi no man farmer ntina. Mimusa obia nchenska.
Now truth is,
ebinim say yensi na so dan na man ntina. Me pamcho mansre obia so nsima so dan ma mi o. Na Akufo-Addo na de kan me mansre no.
Now truth is,
NPP ni bia ni hon mo betimi aka so Owusu Bempah me ba na nchensa me baje contractor neska ma nya bida na me de te hey.
Now truth is that I never
there be some ya say nye NPP for na mo ya say na nye.
So those people
mo be kwa dwene hu ye na mo hu ne se de mo ye na nya mo kodwene hu ye na mo se de mo ne me ye na nye.
Those people in the party,
media mechanical crash amade amode ye me ne de ya me ni nipa anim ni me mom de me bompa ye tia sa ayi sa administration ni sa me bompa ye tia o mo sa me mamra na sa be me sa bi ya me shira ubia so bia obi baka say Owusu Bempah we ye tu no untimi nya hwe untimi nkasa wo ma obi ma me pa cho Ghana kroma ye nyina ye te ha na eduru ho a ye behwe enya me nko na meto aba o ena me nka nkyerɛ de ekoto aba na ma no but your soro any decide sa osoro akasa akyerɛ me ama maka de onyame sɛ menka de yawurade Yesu sɛ menka na maka na enu ntinka mu kokume me konya me anim kra na meka sɛ Awurade de aka sɛ menka na meka ye no hwɛ de nko mu kwan me nko mu kokume sɛ de wi kyerɛ me na nyame bɛyɛ bibi eno nko akra keke it will go against you people. Tisamu asem papa bi kan mo meka na munya sa atem didie na ma bɔ mo nkrɔfo pa na mo didi matem no na me ma me kasa ntia mo biem free na ekro ma kyerɛ ma sɛ mo awie ba mo mu di matem no me so me kɔ me nkoto anim ya me hra obia
Rev Owusu Bempah ana busiafo motere nka me de mini nsɛm bebe ka we matters of spirituality on na si Yankopɔn eche no aba be kam nsɛm pa chɔ me da sɛ mo hwɛ e wade but munya abotre hwɛ ma ne si ye masa ne mo di hwɛ mo biem bye bye. you.